Hello and welcome to Wisdom Bites. Hope you're well. Thank you once again for joining us. Very much appreciated. And in today's video, we're going to have a look at quite a wider aspects of the market. We're going to have a look at the Ukrainian situation and have a look at the two currencies, which is the Russian ruble and the Ukrainian hryvnia. We'll obviously have a look at Bitcoin and exactly what's happening in the charts, where we are, where we can get to in the next few days and weeks. And also, if we get time, I'll have a look at one of the altcoins just to show you exactly what's going on and where my feelings lie with the altcoins. Okay, before I begin, the usual polite reminder, please remember everything in my videos is for educational purposes only. Nothing should be taken as financial advice. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm just giving you my perspective and reading the signs and signals in the charts, in the candles, etc., etc. And if you find value in that, then obviously that's what makes you want to watch my videos. And if you didn't find any value, then at the click of a button, you have the ultimate sanction of watching something completely different. So thank you very much indeed for watching my videos and showing me the love and affection and kindness that you do in the comments below. I really, truly appreciate all that. But before we begin on the charting side, we have to start with some real positivity because there's so much of it around and we need to take advantage of all that. And that is that we must start with some powerful affirmations like yesterday. And with all that positivity, we're going to make these charts all singing and all dancing for us. So people sometimes ask me, why do you do affirmations? Well, for me, the main thing is that I'm always trying to tap into what I regard as my infinite power within myself. And that's a power that's within everybody. It's just that I proactively try to do it for myself. And this is just to achieve a happier, fuller, and richer life. And I feel that there is a power within everybody to solve your business problems, personal problems, and any other problems that present. Because life is not a smooth ride. There's a lot of bumps along the way, and it's how you deal with them, how you respond, that will ultimately determine how successful and happy and content you are in life. So today, I'm going to give you some personal affirmations. So please listen very carefully and come back to these time and time again just to pump yourself up, because this is how I pump myself up. And every morning I wake up and think to myself that today is the greatest day of my life and it's up to me what I do with it. I have a blank piece of paper and I feel I can write anything on that piece of paper, whatever I desire. And you can only do that when you have the feeling that you have the power within yourself. And the way I get this power is by doing affirmations every morning. So these are very powerful affirmations, which I'm going to give you today. And these are called the I am affirmations. So every affirmation starts with the word I am, because it's all about you. If only you knew how powerful you are. And by being at Wisdom Bites, it makes you even more powerful. So please repeat each one 3 times every morning when you wake up. The first one is I am powerful. I am loved. I am letting go. I am safe. I am accepting of who I am. I am honoring myself and others. I am confident. I am connected to Mother Earth. I am worthy. I am simply magnificence. I am loving all that I am. And finally, I am creating the life of my dreams. Well, I hope you found some of those very powerful. So for those of you who can appreciate these affirmations and know the value of them, you'll realize how powerful these affirmations are. And imagine starting the day with these affirmations rather than watching the news and all the murders and the rapes and the killings and the wars and the tragedies. You can see the difference in the kind of day you're going to have. So you have a choice. You can watch the news every morning and go on a diet of those negative sentiments, or you can start the day with those powerful affirmations. And if you found value in these affirmations, then please do remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Okay, so quickly on to the charts. And today I'm going to actually look at something that has been in the news, and that is the Ukrainian war. And what I want to look at is the currencies and how different the two currencies have actually behaved since the war started after this date here. So the war started on the 24th, and I've put this pink line on the 23rd, the day before. So what we have is 2 charts here. The top one is the Ukrainian hryvnia, that's their currency, and the bottom one is the Russian ruble. And you can see clearly the big difference in how the people in the two countries have behaved in terms of their currency. And the pairing here is Bitcoin to the hryvnia. So Bitcoin in Ukraine has risen to the hryvnia 41%. And if you compare that to the ruble in Russia, with all their sanctions and everything, and everybody moving away from their currency, the Bitcoin versus the ruble has risen by 63%. So this gives you the differences in what's been happening in the two countries. And if we compare that to the US dollar from the same date, the 24th, you can see to the current price, it's only 26%. So it's quite clear that both in Ukraine and Russia in particular, there has been a flight towards buying more Bitcoin in the last few days. So people have been asking me about this $46,000 mark here, this key resistance point and the support levels over here, and saying that if we do flip this $46,000 mark, where could we go? So these two are the two key resistance and support lines that I've drawn since we moved downwards from this point here. The first one is about $52,000, $53,000 mark, even at 51, I suppose there. And the other one is at 57, 58. And we have to look at this in context, because the context here is that since we found very strong support at the $46,000 mark here multiple times, and then even include this one here, multiple times we found very strong resistance here. Because of this line, that tells us that the range between the bottom side here to the top there, that range can be taken upwards here to give us a clue as to the next range once we break the 46. For instance, if we take the range from that 46 there to the bottom here, change the color to blue, and if we move that up above the $46 mark here, at that point there, that takes us to the upper range of about 63. So to me, the nearest level to the 63 is this one here at 57, 58. So I would suggest that while there is another level here at 52, and I would expect a move up here, once we get above the 46, I would expect a strong rejection here with a very probable move down to at least the 46,000 to retest it before we move up towards this level here at 57, 58. And as I said yesterday, we could quite conceivably go down to the $40,000 mark here as well, and that's still on the table at that point. However, the reason why we have to consider the range here as well as the strong resistance and support line at the 46 is simply because the momentum that's created by going through this 46 very key, very strong resistant point means that the momentum could quite easily make the price blast through the 51, 52 and go all the way up to 57, 58. For those of you who remember, this is what happened at the $6,000 mark a couple of years ago. We all thought 6,000 would have been a resistant point, but it actually blasted all the way through, went all the way up to 8,000 very quickly. So this is what could possibly happen. And the reason why I put these ranges in is because if you look left here, this is exactly what happened here. So if you look at this range here, the range here created this box. And if you move this up, this is what it led to. So this range was telling us that we're going to play a different range up here to those levels. And same with this level here. So when we had this range, that when we broke out of this range, the chances are we're going to play a similar range above it or below it. And we went above, of course. And we played out this range, not quite to the top level, but it gives us a clue, it gives us a guidance. Please remember, there are no certainties or guarantees. What they do is they give clues, they give guidance, they give probabilities and possibilities. And we've got to weave our way and navigate our way through these charts on that basis. And similarly, if we do break this key resistant point here at the 32,000, the range would take us around about the $23,000 mark here. And so that could be either slightly above or slightly below. I thought you might find that very interesting. So please keep that in your mind about the possibilities of what could happen if we flip over the $46,000 mark. Because this is such a well-defined level here because of all the price action that's occurred all along it. So in my tweet this morning, I was actually referring to the candle formations that's been occurring on the daily chart here. And if you want to go to my Twitter page, the link is actually below all of my videos in the description box. So basically what I was referring to is that there was a huge momentum with this candle here, the Marubozu candle. And it was interesting to see what will follow it. And we followed with a smaller green candle. So you could see that the momentum that you got with this candle was much less with the next candle. So that gave you an insight that the momentum that we got here was now fading away. And then that was confirmed by the red candle here. So this momentum came to an end with this candle here. And because this is a key resistant point at 46, there was a very high degree of probability that we're going to get rejected at this point here. And obviously with Bitcoin, any amount of huge momentum can come into the market at any time and do something completely different and against what we're thinking. So that's what can happen easily. However, in the absence of that, we can only interpret the candle formations as we find them. And that's why I say to people, look, I'm not giving you a prediction. I'm just reading the charts and giving you my interpretation of how the candles are forming and the information they're giving me to give us a certain amount of probabilities either to the upside or the downside. That's what we're doing. We're just weighing up the odds to make it in our favor. So this candle now, if we close this tonight, UK time, midnight, as it is now, but hopefully below this bottom of this wick here, then the chances are, the probabilities are very much higher, obviously, to start moving to the downside. And this is what I'm expecting. And that's why I said we're expecting a rejection, or I would expect a strong rejection at 46 to come back and retest the $40,000 mark here. Okay, a quick look at the 4-hour chart. As I tweeted this in my tweets 2 days ago, when we hit this candle here, I made you aware that this is a very important candle and that the price range is being dictated by the top of this wick and the bottom of this wick of this gravestone doji candle here. And also part of that tweet, I said expect a few 4-hour candles to oscillate between these prices for a while until it makes up its mind. So here we are now, since this candle here, this was the one here. No candle after that on the 4-hour chart has actually closed above or below this range of the wick of this gravestone doji candle here and at the bottom side over here. And I mentioned many times, 80% it normally tends to fall to the downside, but there's also that 20% probability that it goes to the upside. And the current 4-hour candle, for the first time, at the moment anyway, we're actually threatening to actually close below this lower range of this doji candle here. So let's see what happens. We've got 2 more hours to go for this candle. I suspect the bulls are going to try and push this back up above this line here. So the current price is 43,183 and the range low here is at 43,332. Right. A quick look at one of the altcoins, because this is actually very much a reflection of most of the altcoins in the last few months. We're going to look at Cardano, which was really a very strong altcoin from the beginning of the bull market and had a massive rise up to the $3 mark here. But since then, look what's happened. We reached around about the $3.20 mark, and currently we're 71% down. And so a lot of people, for some reason, are wanting to buy this. All I would say is that in my last coverage of Cardano, about a month or so ago, I showed you the 8 EMA on the weekly chart. And I said that until we flip over the 8 EMA on the weekly chart, I wouldn't be buying Cardano. And I think we were over here somewhere at around about 150, maybe around here, 160, 170, around there anyway. And as you can see, we've not had one close above the 8 EMA. And the trajectory of this coin is basically, very obviously, to the downside here. And just like Bitcoin, this is the dominant trend. And the most important thing here is this level here, the $1 mark. Look how many times it's found support and resistance here. So this was a key level of resistance and support. But look what's happened just recently. It fell down below, came back to retest it. That is generally a very high probability sign that we're going to be going lower. So only time will tell what it will do. But certainly, if people ask me what I would do, I certainly would not be buying into Cardano. And if I was holding this, and I can only tell you my perspective, it could be completely wrong, of course. This is not financial advice. Everybody has to do what they have to do. I'm only reading the chart formation and the candle formations and coming to some sort of a balanced view and a judgment on it. And my judgment on this is that it looks very clear to me that this is going down to around about the 30, 40 cents mark. Because of this here, look, very simple. Strong level of resistance was here before we broke through. So it's going to stop at around here. And the question is, will it flip back up or down? And that will, of course, depend on Bitcoin and the strength of Bitcoin, which is the driver of all the market here. So one of my friends was holding Cardano. This is why I'm mentioning this. And I advised him that if we break the $1 mark, then best thing is to sell it. But if we go back above the $1 mark, then buy it back. The only thing you're going to lose is this little amount over here. And by doing that, you'd be protecting this amount to the downside. So basically, sometimes you have to protect your downside, but take the risk of losing a little bit over here. I'm always willing to lose a little bit in order to protect a large amount of a downside, and vice versa to the upside. Okay, so we'll leave it there. More adventures of charts and candle formations tomorrow. Please don't forget the affirmations. They are far more important, far more useful, far more beneficial in our wider life than Bitcoin, etc. So please do take the affirmations seriously. And if you did find value in the video, then please do remember to like and subscribe and to turn on the notification bell. And if you've got any comments, questions or suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Until the next time, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.